Okay, imagine this. A live TV studio. You know the scene, bright lights, cameras everywhere, and this tension you could almost touch.
Absolutely. And we're not just talking about any debate. This was that high-stakes political showdown, the one between Mark Levin and Jasmine Crockett.
Exactly. And today we're doing a deep dive into that specific moment. It really became a kind of masterclass, didn't it? Composure versus aggression played out live.
It really did. And there are some powerful insights there, about leadership, about communication, how to stay resilient under just immense pressure.
Our mission today, drawing from accounts like the calm response that silenced the storm, is to unpack what happened and what we can learn from it.
Because it wasn't just another political spat, it became something else.
And get this, Mark Levin, known for his forceful style, interrupted Jasmine Crockett 18 times. 18.
Yeah, an incredible number.
But it's what she did next, her response.
It
stunned people. It fundamentally shifted things.
And the backdrop to this clash was already intense. That studio atmosphere was electric, charged,
Yeah.
And the topic itself was huge systemic inequality, representation for marginalized communities, big, complex stuff.
So every word mattered, right? Every pause, every glance, it all carried weight.
Absolutely. To really get it, you need to understand the two people at the center of this storm.
Let's start with Mark Levin. I mean, he's often described as this force of nature in debate.
Oh, definitely. His whole career was sort of built on dominating the conversation. Sharp intellect, yes, but also this really unyielding confrontational style.
A kind of command mixed with maybe a bit of smug confidence, an unshakable belief he was right.
That's a fair description based on the accounts. And his tactics were often predictable, weren't they?
Speak loudly, interrupt constantly.
Right. Overwhelm with rhetoric, control the narrative. He'd cut people off, challenge their credentials. It felt surgical sometimes, the way he'd do it.
And often effective, apparently. Sources mention him silencing opponents, even seasoned ones. He built this reputation.
He really did, as this sort of storm, unchallenged, untouchable almost.
That's what makes Crockett's role here so interesting. She came from such a different background.
A complete contrast. Born into a world where maybe the connections weren't just handed to her. She learned perseverance the hard way.
Right. The sources mention law books stacked high late nights.
Yeah.
That kind of determination to fight injustice.
And her experience as a lawyer, especially working in communities that are often overlooked, representing people without powerful voices, that shaped her profoundly.
How so?
Well, she learned to navigate these really complex dynamics, like in a courtroom where shouting doesn't always win. Patience, precision, that mattered more.
So that's where that incredible poise came from, that ability to absorb aggression.
Exactly. It seems every obstacle taught her strategy. Every criticism made her sharpen her resolve.
So her calm wasn't just passive. It was prepared.
That's the key insight from the sources, yeah. It was preparation, a kind of silent counterweight to his expected aggression. She understood that real power doesn't always need to shout. It listens, calculates.
And strikes at the right moment.
Precisely. Her discipline, her quiet tenacity, that's what Levin hadn't really faced before, not like this.
Okay, so the stage is set. Two very different styles, immense pressure. Let's get into the play-by-play. How did the actual confrontation begin?
It kicked off almost right away. The debate barely started, and Levin fired that first interruption. Sharp, cutting.
What was Crockett doing?
Just trying to make her opening point. And he jumps in with something like, "With all due respect, Congresswoman, that's not accurate."
Okay, standard enough opening volley for him, maybe. But her response?
That's what so-so is telling. She paused, held his gaze, steady, then just resumed in this measured tone. With respect, the data clearly shows. Asserting authority, but calmly.
Setting the stage for her approach. But he didn't stop at one, obviously. What happened as the interruptions mounted, say, around numbers 5 to 10?
Yeah, by the fifth one, you could feel the tension ratchet up. Levin got more aggressive, leaning forward, pointing, volume rising, trying to frame her points as complete misrepresentation.
Classic Levin tactics. How did she adapt?
Her strategy shifted subtly. She didn't just try to talk over him. She started doing this skillful thing where she'd loop back to her original point after his interruption.
Making his interjections seem like just noise, distractions.
Kinda, yeah. Like, if he cut her off about budget numbers, she'd calmly say, "As I was saying, the proposed legislation directly addresses these fiscal concerns by keeping control."
Clever. And people started noticing this online pretty quickly, right?
Oh, yeah. The first few tweets popped up. Did you see that? She's so calm. Viral clips started circulating, focusing on that dynamic.
And Levin Did he change tactics between interruptions 6 and 10?
He amped up the aggression, the volume, the theatrical gestures. But Crockett seemed to anticipate it. She started using pauses more deliberately. Finishing a point, then pausing just long enough. It almost forced him to either let her continue or look even more disruptive, cutting into silence.
Ooh, interesting, like daring him.
Maybe. When he tried to cut her off mid-sentence about, say, policy results, she apparently paused, met his gaze, and then calmly finished her thought, referencing specifics like, which aligns with the successful results we saw in the 90s Clean Air Act.
Wow, the audience must have been glued to this.
You could sense it, a different kind of tension building, not just a shouting match.
Okay, fast forward a bit. Interruptions 12 through 17. What's happening now? Social media.
By then, it was exploding. Hashtags like #CrockettCalm, #Levin interrupted. They were trending like crazy. TikTok, Twitter, just loops of these moments.
And Levin must have been feeling it.
You could see it, yeah. The sources say his frustration was becoming more obvious, that confidence maybe faltering just a little. He tried sarcasm, smirks, questioning her experience, clearly trying to get a rise out of her.
Trying to provoke her into playing his game.
Exactly.
Yep.
But she just didn't. Her poise was unwavering. She kept pacing her words, letting the audience see him getting agitated while she remained composed.
So his interruptions started looking weaker, more desperate.
Increasingly futile, yeah. Even commentators who usually defended his style were starting to acknowledge, something different was happening here.
And then the 18th interruption, the big one. What was the specific accusation?
He was visibly frustrated, maybe a bit red-faced, according to descriptions, and he pointed, saying something sharp like, "You clearly don't understand the implications here."
Ooh. And the reaction in the room?
Silence. Apparently, everyone just held their breath. It was this pause filled with potential energy, power.
It felt like a turning point was coming.
Totally. And Crockett took that moment. She let his accusation hang there.
And then?
No anger. Just calm clarity. Her voice filled the space, measured, confident, unwavering. That deliberate pause before she spoke again flipped the whole script.
Okay, so what did she do then? How did she counterattack?
It was masterful, apparently. Her eyes locked with Levin's, steady, unflinching. She took this deep, deliberate breath, like she was just absorbing all the tension.
Almost daring him again.
It seemed like it. He actually leaned forward like he might interrupt again, but she started speaking. "I've listened to your claims," she began, voice calm but resonant, cutting through everything.
What did she say?
Something like, "But let's ground this discussion in facts, in experience, and in the realities faced by the communities we serve." Just bring it back to substance.
And her body language.
Subtle gestures, palms open, more inviting than challenging. It was like she was orchestrating the moment, turning his aggression into her platform. A real masterclass in composure.
Wow. And she didn't just stay calm, she went on the offensive, intellectually.
Precisely. She started dismantling his points, but with precision, referencing specific legislation, historical facts, real-world impacts. No room for empty talk.
Like when he dismissed a program.
Yeah, reportedly she brought up something like the '68 Fair Housing Act, connecting past policy to present challenges, highlighting contradictions in his arguments, but calmly, methodically. No personal attacks, just logic.
How did Levin react to that?
That's where you saw the change. His smirk apparently started to fade, eyes darting, little signs of frustration cracking through that confident facade.
Exposed, really, under the lights.
Increasingly so, yeah. The contrast was stark, his usual dominance versus her quiet, clear intelligence. It became quite the spectacle.
And the public reaction you mentioned earlier, it must have gone into overdrive.
Oh, completely exploded. Clips of her calm takedown went everywhere. #Levin silenced. #debate mastery started trending. Memes popped up, his flailing gestures versus her serene composure.
Pundits must have been scrambling.
They were, struggling to process it.
Yeah.
Admitting the dynamic had just completely, irreversibly shifted.
And for viewers, what was the feeling?
A huge validation for many. Pride, empowerment. Seeing someone face down that kind of aggression without losing an inch of dignity, it resonated deeply.
It really was this moral and intellectual victory playing out live.
Yeah, showing that arrogance crumbles against dignity and bluster can't beat real resolve. You could even feel the energy shift in the studio murmurs, whispers of admiration.
The immediate impact sounds huge, but what about the ripple effect? Was it just a Twitter moment or did it go further?
Oh, much further. It went global, almost instantly. Those clips weren't just on Twitter. They were on TikTok, everywhere. It became a phenomenon.
So media picked it up big time.
Absolutely. Late night shows, serious political analysts, public figures, influencers, everyone was talking about it, sharing clips, discussing leadership, respect, often with this tone of just astonishment.
And politically, for Crockett and Levin.
Crockett's national profile shot up.
Yeah.
It really reshaped the conversation around her. For Levin, well, that image of the unstoppable force suddenly had a major dent in it. It prompted scrutiny.
What about everyday people?
That was powerful too. People share their own stories, felt this sense of pride. Seeing a leader navigate that kind of challenge with such grace, it clearly struck a chord.
And beyond the immediate aftermath, did it have a lasting legacy?
Definitely. Educational groups,
Yeah.
civic organizations, they started using the clips almost immediately.
As teaching tools.
Exactly. Lessons in leadership, debate strategy, effective communication. It became this kind of real-world blueprint used in classrooms, boardrooms.
Because it redefined strength, in a way.
I think so. It became a cultural touchstone,
Yeah.
showing that, yeah, composure can actually outperform aggression, even when the stakes are incredibly high. It highlighted these timeless values, didn't it?
Poise, dignity, patience.
Truth triumphing over arrogance and bluster. That really resonates beyond just politics.
And her calm, we keep saying it, but it wasn't passive.
No, not at all. It was deliberate, strategic, rooted in her whole experience. Restraint became her weapon, intellect her shield, dignity her authority.
That must have been incredibly inspiring for certain groups.
For marginalized communities, absolutely. It was like holding up a mirror to their own potential. Proof that preparation, perseverance, principle. They can turn hostility into a platform.
So ultimately, it kind of redefined leadership itself.
In a powerful way, yes. It showed that maybe the quiet, disciplined voice carries the most weight. That true strength isn't always the loudest. Sometimes it's the calmest conviction.
What a journey through that one event. It really was a monumental shift we saw, wasn't it? Jasmine Crockett's triumph through, well, dignity, smarts, and that strategic courage.
And Levin's long-standing dominance, undone by that unwavering composure. The video title really nailed it. Mark Levin interrupts Jasmine Crockett 18 times. Her calm response ends his career on live TV. Maybe a bit hyperbolic on the career end, but the impact was undeniable.
It's etched in memory now, and it makes you think, doesn't it? For you, listening right now, think about the challenges you face. Maybe this reminds us all that courage and composure can speak louder than any interruption.
Which brings us to a final thought. In a world that often seems to reward the loudest, most aggressive voices, how might embracing a more deliberate, calm, measured response change things? Not just in public debates, but in your own life. How might it redefine how you handle conflict, how you assert your own authority?
Something to definitely mull over. Remember that calm power, it speaks volumes.